good? What's good? What's good? It's your boy Micah back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to be responding to a couple of comments some viewers left on the previous video. Shout out to Bob Floyd and Acta Est Fabula. Yes, finally got that name right. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate your viewership. And actually listening and thinking about what the hell I gotta say, you know what I'm saying, and trying to add to the library of knowledge. So I'm gonna start off with Acta's comment. He asked about the throat chakra and basically what to do if you have a damaged throat chakra. So we're gonna give a little bit of background on that, and then we're gonna work or talk about reincarnation, especially from a necromancy perspective. So without further ado, let's begin. So, the throat chakra deals with speech. It deals with the value you receive from listening to other people and the value other people get from listening to you. It deals with wisdom. Is not simply just dealing with this new age bullshit about speaking your truth and all the other kind of stuff. That's a part of it, but it's not the whole. Your throat chakra, it deals with the power of mundane speech as well, and the power other people's words have over your reality, and the power your own words have over your reality. So, Acta, when you say your throat chakra is extremely damaged, from what I get, because I'm scrying and freaking divining while I'm making the fucking video here, from what I get, your throat chakra is actually pretty fucking healthy. However, you have a lot of enemies and a lot of fake-ass family, fake-ass friends, etc. that constantly speak negative words about you when you're there and when you're not there. And those words, by default, of them being spoken, it constricts your throat chakra, and it prevents it from being able to take in prana and other ambient energies to form your voice, your magical voice and your mundane voice. So it's not so much that you have a problem speaking up or you have a problem doing this, that, and the other. It's the other motherfuckers around you, because there are times in the occult where shit is actually not your fault. Problems are actually caused by other people, not because of some repressed bullshit in your shadow or some other kind of stuff. Now, let me delve deeper into this. How can these words affect you if you're not there to hear them? This is kind of the root origin of that Zen koan of what is the sound of a tree falling in the forest if no one is there to hear it. This goes into clairaudience, so to speak. So here's the thing. Just because your physical ears don't hear it, it does not mean that your throat chakra does not hear it. Your throat chakra is a non-dimensional vortex of energy. I'm going to say that again. Your throat chakra is a non-dimensional, not limited to one dimension, vortex of energy. And since it rules hearing, both in the mundane sense and in the psychic sense, it can hear what's going on, and this is why you perceive it subconsciously as feelings of being talked about or plotted against behind your back. That's what it translates to in your third eye, in the ajna. And when people are using incantations against you, when they're using negative speech, when they're talking shit and gossiping, one sign that you'll experience is ear pain. It is a dual manifestation. One of the energy and incantations being spoken against you, trying to take effect for whatever fucking reason. And two, it is a manifestation of your gift of clairaudience, because you're sensing this shit. And if you really hone in on it and quiet your mind and focus, you can hear snippets of incantations and speech going on. Plus you have a visual image of who is actually saying it while they're fucking saying it. It might not always be like right there in the moment, but you get what I'm trying to say here. So, to resolve this, what I suggest, and again, this is just a fucking suggestion, what I suggest is you visualize or you feel a cocoon, a web-like cocoon around your throat chakra in your next meditation. When you feel this, I want you to imagine taking a surgical operating knife, like doctors and surgeons use, and gently cut down the center of the cocoon from top to bottom and peel it off your throat chakra and discard it. Once you do that, you'll find that your throat chakra will begin to take in more energy, more prana, and your voice starts to develop. Spirits respond better to you. They hear your call, the throat chakra, so to speak. They hear your call throughout the dimensions, throughout the planes. They come to you quicker. They respond to your commands better. People respond to your commands better. They get more energetic value out of what you have to say, and they listen to you. Feel me? You can also use this in a more baneful manner as well, projecting or astral projecting through your voice. I'm going to say that again. You can astral project through your voice and influence the minds, the subconscious minds, and deliver messages to enemies and all that other kind of shit. And it will register subconsciously as feelings and commands that they get to execute. Now, depending upon the spiritual awareness and capability of your enemies, more than likely, they'll just assume it's their spirits or it's some guidance from their intuition or higher self telling them to do X, Y, Z. Be very careful if you're going to use this for baneful purposes, because, most practitioners that are worth their salt know the voice of their spirits, and they know the voice of their intuition, and they know their spirits are not going to tell them to fucking kill themselves. So please be careful with that. Be very cautious with that kind of shit. But I hope that answers your question for your throat chakra. Also, you can take and create elixirs, because if you think about it, when you're drinking something, it goes down through the fucking throat. Feel me? So I would suggest a golden seal root for health, vitality, clearing out blockages, attracting wealth and prosperity. You can mix that in a bit of cinnamon and vanilla powder. You can also put in a little bit of basil in there as well for the earth element and bring more solidity and more power to your throat chakra. Mix it in your favorite alcohol. You can use just regular base soda or water for this, but I suggest use spirits or alcohol for this. Probably like brandy or mead, so to speak. You can use that, mix it in there, consecrate it, do whatever you gotta do, and then drink it for the purposes of strengthening your throat chakra as a whole in all aspects and breaking off any negativity cast against you through the medium of speech and sound. And it should resolve your issues from there. So, with that being said, I'm going to move on to the next topic of reincarnation. Another commenter, Bob Floyd, shout out to you, homeboy. Thank you for your viewership and whatnot. He left a comment asking to disclose my views on reincarnation. So, we're going to go straight into it. For one, I do believe and know that reincarnation exists. It is as objective as the sun in the sky. It's a process and it exists. Now, from a necromantic perspective, it is possible to reincarnate forcefully after you die as a necromancer. You can either possess new bodies after you die due to astral projection, having proficiency in it, attaching yourself similar to how a parasite would to another person, and work your way into them, riding shotgun, so to speak. There's ways you can do this with psionics, there's ways you can do it with necromancy, there's ways you can do it just with regular astral projection. You just have to be proficient enough in order to do it, in order to execute it properly. Now, in regards to the whole judgment process and being reincarnated back into a machine and all that other kind of stuff, yes, that does exist. There is karmic judges, for example, King Yama, who freaking reads off your karmic depths and your sentence and then sends you into your next lifetime to fulfill and pay those karmic debts. However, there are ways to sneak past King Yama, while still alive, and fucking gain control of your ascent and gain control of your destiny. See, the thing is, I know what's gonna happen after I pass. I'm gonna go wherever the fuck I choose to. Because I've gotten to that degree in my ascent to where I can do that shit. So, if I want to come back here and possess the body of some young fucking magician who I see is gonna be on the path later and is gonna be very powerful, who knows? I might just fuck around and take a hold of him, reincarnate, and add his power to my own, and thus further the both of us, or further myself. You feel me? So, a wrench, so to speak, is thrown into the whole reincarnation equation when you involve other black magicians and other necromancers, trapping souls, trapping spirits, that kind of thing. Normally when you die, you're supposed to cross over into the other world, and according to your beliefs about where you want to go, that's where you go. The spiritual gravity of those beliefs attracts you to that particular destination. Like attracts like. Now, let's say I have an enemy who died, and they're on their way to cross over and all this other kind of shit, but I cast some magic to bind them and pull them into a crystal. What's going to happen is that they will indeed be pulled back here. They will break the veil, because that's what's required. They will break the veil and be trapped in fucking crystal. Now what this does to them after an extended period of time is that it, due to the fact of their soul being contained in one isolated spot, it tends to break down and it tends to wear down their energy and their soul essence, so to speak. But the divinity that they carry remains constant. It remains the same, which then turns them into an endless battery that I could draw upon. Now, as every soul and every spirit is different, there are souls that can break free of these bindings, and then they will either try to take vengeance upon you, or they would just make their escape while they can. And so that little wrench is kind of thrown in there from, hold on 1 minute. That little wrench is thrown in there in that whole process. Now, this kind of goes back into past lifetimes, future lifetimes, all that other good shit. It is possible to incarnate and reincarnate as a completely different life form in which you currently are at a soul level. There's a basic principle that most of us know, is that every human that is on this planet is not human. You have some people who are incarnated demons. You have some people who are incarnated aliens. I know one who was a light worker who was an incarnated alien. You have other people who are incarnated fairies. The whole fucking spectrum is limitless. However, there are ways to freaking reincarnate, not just on Earth, but on other planets and other dimensions and other realities as those specific kinds of life forms, so to speak. All of this goes back to astral projection. If you can master astral projection, you master your destiny, an aspect of your destiny, especially what happens, when you die. This also opens up a gateway, in a necromantic perspective, for you to repossess your own body after you are killed. I'm going to say that again. You can repossess your own body after you are killed, thus effectively resurrecting yourself and or reanimating yourself. This can take on a wide variety of different methodologies. Perhaps you have a servitor, a demonic servitor that fucks with death. You can have it combine its power with yours after you die. Let's say you're shot in the head or some shit, and both of you fucking re-enter your body and reanimate it. Now, depending upon your spiritual will and your level of power and the damage done to your body, it can be anywhere from a permanent resurrection, or it can be a temporary kind of thing. You know, you get shot in the head and then you reanimate yourself just in order to whoop the guy's ass that shot you, and then you fucking drop dead again. You know what I'm saying? You're taking that vengeance upon a person. It's very possible to do that. You can form death pacts as well, specifically to where when you die, your soul is transmitted to a particular spot, or you go to a particular place. You can do death pacts for resurrection of the physical body as well, for extending the lifespan, for instantaneous healing through death essence of any critical and lethal wounds that brought about your demise. The possibilities are fucking endless. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's one other question you had that you didn't type. Is it possible to break the fucking incarnation cycle or reincarnation cycle? Yes, it is. Yes, it fucking is. However, it takes a high level of spiritual mastery over the self and over outside energies in order to do it. When you die and you're getting pulled towards this vortex to be reincarnated again as a different soul and all that other kind of shit, the gravity of that vortex is very fucking high. It's like a riptide, so to speak, pulling you deeper and deeper into the ocean. What you want to do is not necessarily struggle against it. You want to go with the flow and then find the opening. And as you go with the momentum and you go into that opening, you focus your will and you lock your will onto it, then you exit that cycle. And you can go wherever you please after that. So there's that answer to your question. The last thing I want to talk about is addiction, very briefly. I'm offering services, ritual services, because I've had people in my city come to me seeking help for clearing away addictions, such as meth addiction. There's many different ways to do this: shamanic cleansing, ayahuasca trips, along with the datura combination for really getting deep into the energetic body and clearing away any inorganic entities or organic entities that are fueling the addiction. My methodology is very different. My goal is to clear you of the addiction by means of building up your spiritual power and strength so you can control what the drug does to you. Because that's a whole new level of power. And that shows dominance and an independence, physiologically and otherwise, over that drug. When you are at a point to where you can fucking control what the addiction does to you and gain benefits you otherwise would not gain from that addiction, you're no longer fucking addicted in any way, shape, or form. You have the spiritual power, strength, and will in order to put it down or to use it should you so please. Why do I take that methodology? Because when you're clearing yourself of addiction, it's inevitable that you're gonna fall and fucking engage in it again and again and again. This can create a vicious cycle of guilt, and that energetic guilt forms ties at the soul level to that very vice, to that very thing, creating a never-ending cycle that drains you, degrades your emotional, mental, and physical health, and can even result in your death. Pile on top of this the work of other black magicians who are coming at you, and yeah, you got yourself a hell of a time there. So I take that into account with this ritual service I'm offering, and I build you up. I give you the tools you need, the spiritual tools you need in order to drag yourself back up and strengthen yourself through various rituals, meditations, energy work, that kind of thing. And with time, you'll get so strong spiritually that you can be in an environment where that vice is and you will not have any desire to fucking engage with it. Or if you do have the desire, you'll have the tools you need to control that particular entity. Because that's what addiction is. It is an entity, so to speak. It is a thought form that drains you that hooks to your shadow, your physical body, your mind, etc. And thus you'll have that a whole new level of power added to you. So if you're interested in that, hit me up. I'm going to leave my links down below in the description. We can get that shit started for you. So, that being said, I'm going to conclude this video. I hope this information was helpful to you. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Please like, share, subscribe. And until next time, peace.